Welcome to this session 10 of the novel The Edible Woman by Margaret Atwood. In this session, I'm going to analyze two chapters, chapter 14 and chapter 15. Now let us look at the analysis of chapter 14. When Marian comes home that day, Ainsley was standing in the house half naked. She was surprised to see Marian to come home. She thought Marian might have gone out with Peter for dinner. In Ainsley's face, there was a shade of surprise and annoyance. Marian was carrying groceries as she got a call from Peter telling her he would not be coming to take her for dinner. Ainsley tells Marian that today she is going to sleep with Len to get pregnant, but Marian was not listening to her as she was busy in putting things to the refrigerator. Marian had not been paying close attention to Ainsley's campaign over the past 2 months. She wanted to keep herself clean of the whole thing, but Ainsley forcefully telling everything that happened between her and Len. Ainsley projected herself as a simple woman without any bad habits like drinking. Len also thought Ainsley is a very simple and sensitive girl. That's why he did not force himself upon her. He decided to go about this project slowly. He took her to coffee and dinner. Once he took her to an English movie and went so far as to holding her hand. Ainsley also once invited him to apartment for a coffee. As already it has been 2 months, Ainsley thinks that it has to be tonight, otherwise she does not know what to do. If it does not happen tonight, she has to get another one. She thinks she has wasted a lot of time. Marian then inquires Ainsley where it is going to be or are they going to sleep together. Ainsley says that as you are going to dinner with Peter, I invited him to this apartment. Now she requests Marian either to go to Peter's place or make some other arrangement so that she can be free with Len that night. But these days, a lot changed between Marian and Peter, especially after the evening talk. She decides it is not good idea to go to his place because he may think she is too possessive or jealous or she is interfering his work. She cannot go to Clara's house as she is in hospital and she thinks of calling one of the office virgins, but finally she says she would go to a movie. Ainsley happy with Maria's decision and goes to get dressed and takes her permission to use the scotch bottle if needed. Marian tells her that she cannot stay out all night. She will be back by 12:30. Ainsley says it will be over by that time, either in her favor or against her. Ainsley says that if things do not go like she expected, she would throw him out of the window. Marian pondered over her situation while having her TV dinner and her drank a cup of tea alone. As it was too early to leave for movie, she dawdled around the apartment waiting for the time for the late show. While on the way to the nearest movie theater, she was pondering over whether to call and inform Len about what Ainsley's plan is, but she did not know how to do it, and if yes, why should she? Why should she do it? Ainsley has to send Len out by 11:30 or 12 at night, or she has to keep him inside all night without giving any clue to the lady down below that a man has stayed there the whole night. Even if the lady comes to know about it and tell them to vacate the apartment, she thinks she may get another apartment. She went inside the movie theater and slouched her body down, resting her head on the back of the seat and her knees against the seat in front and half closing her eyes. It was an unlikely position of woman, but she did not mind as it was half empty and not many to question her. She remembers her sad experiences when she faced some problem when somebody touched her body while sitting in the theater and even some old men. She watched the movie with half interest. To the left of her in the theater, somebody was eating something with a hard shell and throwing the shell on the ground. It its sound came to her. While going home, she took as much time as possible to reach home. She had no intention to talk into middle of the anything that might be happening there in the apartment. As she could not see from the distance what was happening inside, she saw only darkness in and around the house. When she stepped through the door and switched on the hall light, the lady down below came to ask something in her dressing gown. The lady down below says she heard a man went upstairs earlier, but he did not come down yet. She says that she is not complaining as both of them are nice girls. She is only asking because of the child. Marian tells the lady that the man might have gone quietly in order not to disturb the lady down below. The analysis of chapter 15. At 4:30 next day, Marian was walking along the hospital corridor for searching for the right room where Clara is staying after the delivery. She skipped the lunch hour by eating cheese and lettuce sandwich so that she could leave the office an hour earlier to see real normal Clara in the hospital for the first time after the birth of the child. Marian had 30 minutes of visiting time to talk to Clara. She is not sure whether she has that much of stuff to last 30 minutes conversation. The doors of the room are open. She has to stand in front of all the rooms to check and find the right number. From each room came the high pitched bibble babble of women talking together. At the end of the corridor, she found the right number, which had Clara. Clara explains Marian about the newborn baby that it was messy and a sort of fascinating thing to look at. She feels that it would be better for human beings to act like birds do, but they could not do it. Clara also tells Marian to try it once as if becoming pregnant is like tasting a pastry cake. Marian just sat and smiled at Clara. She would not say anything in reply. Then Marian asks Clara what she is going to call the baby. Clara has not decided. Marian asks whether she wanted a book to read, but Clara said no, as she could not concentrate. She will be either sleeping or listening to the talk of the women next to her. They always speak about miscarriages and other such things. Clara sometimes thinks that she might get breast cancer or any other disease. After the birth of child, Clara is talking more and also a lot more quickly than she usually did, and Marian found herself surprised. She thinks this may be due to change in hormones. They also speak about morbidity of men and women. Clara says women are morbid, but Marian's opinion is men are also morbid. Clara is happy that Joe is not morbid. When they were speaking on various issues that matter concerning Arthur and Joe, the nurse comes and informs that the visiting time is over. Marian has the rest of the day to do what has happened so far or unravel the things that happened to her. She thinks she would eat quickly at the nearest restaurant and she has to move quickly the traffic in order to take some clothes to and rush to the laundry. She thinks about what are the essential things she has required to wear in near future. That afternoon, she got a call from Peter. He told her to arrange for dinner that night, but after some time, he called again and informed her that the dinner has to be put off as something suddenly came up. She got another call, but this time it was Duncan, the beer young man. He tells her that the day in the movie it was he who breathed behind her neck, but he went away without telling her. He asks her to bring some of her clothes to press as she finished his clothes, nothing else to do, and Marian agrees to bring as early as possible. She does not talk about this young man to anybody, including Ainsley. She finds it difficult the way out of the hospital. She takes the elevator, goes to the another floor. It looks like the floor where Clara is staying, but doors of the room are closed. Somehow she comes out of the hospital asking somebody about the way to go outside. Thank you for watching the video.